So any store, it takes for them to have business. It takes the people to have money. But for the people to have money, they got to get paid a good wage. Now, they have to do a fair day's work, and this is where I talk about balance. So, in reality, and I wrote a sermon, I haven't loaded it on the website yet. I wrote a sermon about creating a rational party, a political party, a rational party, that holds firmly to the views of God. Now, and anybody would be willing to get in the party. You know, if you don't want to follow this religion, it's between you and God. As long as you ain't hurting me, it's between you and God. I'm not here to beat everybody in the head with a stick that don't want to be this religion, because then I'm being the oppressor. So, but I hope you see the rationale of you religious people learning about each other and getting along. If nobody got no money, well, I can't go to your store if I ain't got no money. So if I ain't getting a good paycheck, I'm not going to hire the home improvement guy to fix my house. I'm not going to take my car to the garage to get it fixed. Okay, I'm not going to go to the store and spend money, because I ain't got nothing. Now, he don't care as long as he fat and happy. Once he looted all the society, once he done looted the society of all his wealth, what he care for? Oh, well, you all unemployed. So what? I got all the money. What do I care? Because that's his animal nature. This guy up here, he might be elite. They might eat with the right fork. They might talk correctly. They might talk all proper and all. But they're savages. When it comes to humanity, they're savages. They'll let millions and millions and millions of us die off. And this happens already if you look at some of these third world countries. Millions die off and suffer and live in sewage and everything else, while he hoards all the wealth. And he don't care. Because that is the Antichrist. When y'all make that triangle, this is the inhumane savage you're worshiping. That's the devil you're worshiping. And I'm going to tell you straight out. You being a good slave, he trying to make you a good brown noser, a good jackass for him. That's what he's trying to do. Okay? That's why I say worship God and be as humane as you can be. Because you want to be treated humane, so you should want to treat others humane. If you want to, I could take the same people that say, no, I like my life. I like being an oppressor. And I'll take you all and put you in the freaking gutter down here. And then you'll be screaming and hollering about injustice. Okay? Because that's how ungodly people tend to think. It's okay as long as it's not them. Now, I read all the holy books. Now, look, I read the Bible. See, I read this Bible. New Living Translation. New Living Translation of the Bible. I read the Gita. It's the Bhagavad Gita. Let's see if I can get it here. That's what it's the Hindu Bible. I read the Quran. I read them all. Now, let's see. The Quran, I know a lot of people in America here, they think the Quran is a book of terrorism. But let's see. There's a lot of good verses in here. I'm going to see which one I'm going to read. And let's see. So abandon sin. This is from the Quran. 6, the cattle. Verse 120. So abandon sin, open and secret. For those who commit sin will be repaid for what they perpetrate. So see, the Quran don't tell you to be some sinful animal. Now the Quran, I'm going to get into why the Quran doesn't agree with Christianity. Here's the Bhagavad Gita. Let's see which chapter is. Chapter 2, the illuminated man. Consider your dharma. You should not vacillate. For a warrior, nothing is higher than the war against evil. The warrior confronted with such a war should be pleased, Arjuna, for it comes as an open gate to heaven. But if you do not participate in this battle against evil, you will incur sin, violating your dharma and your honor. And the Bible, let's see. We'll go to Matthew here. Matthew chapter 6, teaching about money and possessions. Don't store up your treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves will break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be. And I'm going to jump down. That's Matthew 6, verse 19. I'm going to jump down to verse 24. No one can serve two masters, for you will love one, you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. So what Jesus was saying, and all you see all these holy books tell you don't sin and do good for humanity. If you love money, you're going to worship him. And you got to be a brown noser and do all kinds of evil for him. If you love God, you're trying to liberate all these people and teach them to behave well in a way to defeat him. Now, hopefully he repents and turns to God, or whoever they are, repent and turn to God and realize the wrong of their ways and try to be as humane as you can. Because the whole point of the Illuminati religion, that the Illuminati with an A that I teach, is so these masses down here aren't enslaved and starving. So the masses down here aren't suffering. But I got to get the new masses down here, got to learn not to sin against each other also. So this is the point of this Illuminati. And this is the point of this cross. You religions aren't here to be fighting over who's superior. And I'm going to tell you how religion works. Look at the behavior of man. If you don't believe me, look at the behavior of man. Man's sinful behavior messes up everything. And back in the days, God gave the Jews the law. Over time in the Old Testament, Jews bad behavior. Okay, you took on a king, and I read 1 Samuel chapter 8. I can't believe the Hebrews or the Jews back at that time wanted a king, but go figure. God told you worship him. Worship his humane law. You didn't want a king. And the reason he said you don't want a king is because a king is going to rule by his carnal nature. He's going to want to hold all the wealth, make you a servant, put you in place as one of his slaves. That was the point of it. 1 Samuel chapter 8. Well, the Jews over time, and it's nothing personal Jews because it's human behavior. Well, they messed up Judaism. Secularized it. The leaders became greedy. The whole nine. Corruption. Okay. That's when Jesus came on the scene. Now, this is why Jesus was the Messiah, you Jews. He was the greatest humanitarian. Great behavior, sinless, which the Old Testament tries to inspire people not to do, sin. Worship God and not sin against each other. Treat each other right. Jesus was the greatest humanitarian. A sinless humanitarian. He was the best behaving human being that ever walked the face of this earth. And yes, he was immaculately conceived. Yes. Because like the Quran says, God, it's easy for me. Spoken word. Mary got pregnant. That's all God do. Say it is, and it will be. So Jesus came on the scene, and Jesus was trying to get the people not to sin, so they got along. And that's where Christianity starts. So in a perfect world, all you Jews would have said, "Oh, Jesus teaches some really good stuff. We're gonna go along with Jesus." And so Judaism would have died off, the beliefs, and everybody would have followed Jesus. Now, Constantine and everybody else, they had to put their little tentacles, and they messed up Christianity, and people fighting over the Trinity and killing each other, and there was plenty of war over the deity of Jesus and everything else, and they started killing each other. So then God had to clear it up again, because it's like you send your kids into the room and you tell them to pick out your dress. Oh, I gotta put this in the next video, number 4.